Welcome back, everybody. All right, so if you've seen the new Mac Pros, they're actually not in anything that resembles a square. So what we'll do here is I'll end up pushing delete here, and I'm going to go and I'm going to go to create, and in this case, I'm going to go and create a cylinder here. Now, before you click anything else here, you want to go and you want to check the amount of vertices you have here. The more vertices you have, the smoother it will look, but the harder it will be to render. Okay, so again, I'm going to go with something in the middle between game design, something you could probably get away with on a console like the Xbox One or the PlayStation 3, but not necessarily get away with it as a background object on the mobile phone here. Now, you can go ahead and you can create the radius, and that makes it bigger and whatnot. And you can create the depth too, which makes it taller. This is actually probably good. Although, one thing that we have not been talking about is the scale here. You can see that there's a grid in the background, and one thing that you want to make sure of before you even go into your game engine is you want to be able to export that. And there is a tutorial I have on that, on how to export it to Unity 3D. All right, I'll see. So what we'll do here is once you click outside of this here, you won't be able to edit the amount of vertices. So once you click, you're good to go here. So this is pretty good here. Now, if you've looked here at the new MacBook Pro, it actually looks pretty cool. There's a couple of things though. The first things first is there is a bottom part to that. So I'm going to go and push the face select here. I'm going to push Eat Extrude, and then I'm going to lock this on the Z axis, just like that here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to scale it in. Okay, that's all you need to do for that here. And I'm going to show you how to make this really detailed in a second here. The other thing we're going to do is we have kind of the same thing up top here. So I'm going to push Eat Extrude and then lock this on the Z axis, something similar to that here, and I'm just going to scale it in. So here is an easy way to make cylinders look a little bit more cool, and you can do this an infinite amount of times if you really wanted to, just extruding and then moving it in. However, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be we're going to be push Eat Extrude, and then I'm going to move this in more like that, so it has a ring. All right, and I'm going to move this and push Eat Extrude, and I move it down just like that. Pretty cool, right? So this is, believe it or not, computer, and depending on how old you are, this looks like science fiction, but that's what they're selling this as. So now that we have all of this here, what do? We can actually leave it, believe it or not, like this, and this could go on the desk. You can put a monitor in it, whatnot. And the other thing we can do, and I haven't really talked about this, but let's go ahead and if we were to, let's say, make this for a game, this model's done. Okay, and it was really simple, but again, if you pick a simple aesthetic, it makes things a lot easier. So there are certain kinds of aesthetics that work better, like let's say minimalism, a very simple minimalist aesthetics work better than something more complicated. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's add in a modifier. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding the subdivision surface modifier. Now, this looks a little bit cool. And if I just tab into edit mode, you can see that I haven't applied anything yet. There's a little bit of a distortion right there. But what you can do is you can actually, if we go and we tab into object mode here, we can add in more and more of these vertices. So you can see how these become a little bit smoother here. Now, you can see that there's a little bit of distortions in here. Now, again, if you want something that looks really smooth, this is what you want to go for. And I'm just going to actually, you can move that down here. You can click this optimal here. You can see the optimal display. You can also do this. You can also do this here. So you can see that there are quite a bit of vertices here. Now watch what happens. I'm just going to tap in object mode and apply this. And don't worry, we can undo this here. Look at how many vertices this are. This is exactly what you do not want to do in games. All right. So I'm going to actually undo all of that here. And I do want to make sure that you know how these vertices work. Okay. And I'm going to get rid of this modifier here. And I think this is perfect here. Now, if you want to, you can go back and create a whole new cylinder. So I'm just going to actually create a cylinder just kind of right here. And you can actually up the vertices to, let's say, 100 like that here. And that will give you the same kind of smooth effect. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.